What are some tips about fighting you could give someone who's never been in a fight? Don't ask Reddit for advice moments before getting decked. Everyone has a plan until they get decked in the face. I'd say maybe just shit yourself. Nobody wants to fight someone covered in shit. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Mike Tyson. I have been in only one fight in my life. The fight was over within 2 seconds after the other guy punched my teeth in with a knuckle duster. That wasn't the way I imagined fighting, lol. Probably because you weren't the one instigating the fight and weren't ready to fight. All of these fighting tips require either A. You are the instigator, B. You are trained in self-defense both physically and mentally. If you aren't the one instigating, you're probably still in de-escalation mode. You aren't going to be ready to block a sucker punch to your face. On top of that, if you are hit and don't instantly go down, your brain is probably still in I don't want to fight mode. Fighting is a mentality game too. Most people do not want to fight. If you put them in a fight, they're going to flail wildly with their brain going a mile a minute, or buckle instantly. Probably both. All of these tips about ducking and weaving and going for the nose or throat or some shit are dumb as duck. If you can keep your cool enough to think straight in maybe your first, second or third fight in your entire life, and in a fight that you don't even want to be in, then chances are you don't need tips from Reddit and you're some fighting prodigy. These threads are so dumb because they always omit the fact that your brain essentially switches off in a fight, especially if you're sucker punched, which is what that Mike Tyson quote is talking about. Your plan is non-existent the second your brain goes into ooga booga rape mode, especially if you've already been punched in the face. I have years of experience in boxing and Muay Thai. My best tip is run. Street fights aren't a sport where people follow the rules. Even an experienced fighter can end up with a knife in his stomach or a brick in his neck. Just run. For real. Also, if you don't know how to punch, you can duck up your hands forever. They are little delicate sacks of bones and tendons that were meant to be dexterous, not bludgeons. Literally trained to punch 4 years and still pushed my knuckles back an inch after landing a punch in a street fight. If you don't need to fight, run. De-escalate and or run. Your pride isn't worth a brain injury, and anyone who tells you it is probably already has one. Or accidentally permanently injuring or killing someone and ending up in some shit. Getting punched hurts. Sounds like it's not much of a tip, but a lot of people walk into fights thinking they'll throw a swing back and power through it like Iron Man. This is most definitely not the case. If you have never been in a fight, edit for all the big boys commenting here. Op asked about the first time in a fight. Your balls of steel aren't going to help anyone reading this post for advice. Great that you felt pain after you lost the fight, but my point is that it's not a pleasant experience and you can't expect it to play out like the movies. Adrenaline will not kick in for most people's first fight, and getting hit will hurt. I've frequented a lot of shady bars and clubs in my travels, and most fights are like 2 punches and broken up. Others are a blow or 2 to the head. People who have never fought but feel they would fare well because of what they read/watched on the internet are in for a rude awakening. There's a ton of people out there with nothing to lose, even less empathy, but always have something to prove. They have been in fights before and will again. These people are everywhere, all over the world. They don't give a duck about rules, nor do they care if they put you in a coma, if they antagonize you. Simply remove yourself from the situation. Edit. Thanks for the gold, friend. I grew up in a rough area, but never was the fighting type. The gap in fight experience at age 15 was already so huge it was unbelievable. Guess what? People you get in fight with, get in fights all the time. Take it from a guy who used to carry a weapon every day. If you don't have to fight, don't. If you're going to follow these tips about eye gouging and whatsoever, it better be worth you getting injured. And you better be demonstrably in the right. If you mess someone up and the police show up, chances are, if you're asking for tips via Reddit, you're not winning that thing. I'd also like to chime in about these break the rules comments. If you have never been in a fight, you're not ready to defend yourself against someone who is going to focus on throat punches, ball grabs, eye gouging, etc. Breaking the rules as an amateur is a one-way ticket to Duck Up My Life Forever Town. Even if you absolutely have to fight, you never want to give your opponent the incentive to do those things to you. This is so smart. I remember when I went to college in a shitty area, one of the ghetto kids who made it out told me this. He said, "Look, almost all fights, even in fairly bad areas/situations, are just fights. Someone gets beat up, they get the shit kicked out of them, maybe they go to the hospital, but they are probably more or less fine. But if you're the guy who has a knife for protection, or something similarly stupid, that's what escalates the fight. And now the other guy/guys are trying to kill you. Don't be that guy who doesn't know how to fight, who is carrying around a knife, or otherwise turning the fight into some battle to the death." I see all the time on Reddit and other places these sort of amateur discussions about going all in and eye gouging people, etc. My instant reaction is always, that just sounds like a really good way to either end up turning a fist fight into a felony assault with intent to do grievous bodily injury, or B, end up turning a fist fight into the guy or his bud is trying to kill you because you just tried to literally gouge someone's eye out in what was a stupid slappy fist fight. Apostrophe. Elbows in, hands eyebrow level, chin down. Throw mostly straight punches to the nose, hooks and uppercuts to the chin. And don't expect to win a fight just cause you read some tips on Reddit. Edit. Don't bother with hooks and uppercuts unless you've practiced them. That last one is the most important tip I've read yet. I read a post on Reddit and I'm now a MMA champion. Keep your chin down. Can I ask why? Just to protect it? Exaggerate the chin down position so that you are looking out the top of your eyes to see your opponent. What is his biggest target now? The top of your head. He punches you there and you are less likely to be seriously hurt, and he has a good chance of breaking his hand. When shit is about to break loose, start undressing and get naked. It is important to demonstrate the opponent that you are utterly insane and will use that during a potential murder trial. I actually saw this happen at a music festival. One guy was having a bad trip and freaking out and starting to get belligerent. When the security team arrived to calm him down, he stripped of all his clothes, presumably under the assumption that everyone would be hesitant to grab a naked man. The head of the security team, a seasoned festival vet himself, declared, "You can't out crazy me." Son stripped off his own clothes and moved in to subdue the now thoroughly confused man. And that's how I came to watch an impromptu mud wrestling match between two large, sweaty, naked men. God, I miss festivals. I badly want this to be a true story. Give them the old dick twist. The OLLLL dick twist. Twist that dick. Keep a wide stance below your trench coat to display your finely crafted Nippon grade steel katana. Show your opponent your Reddit badge and say, "Chad, his name is most likely Chad. I wish not to give thee penitence and persimmons. However such may be thine case. Woe is thee. Wait for him to leave. Put on life jacket. Try not to drown in pussy." Don't forget that when you teleport behind your opponent, you say nothing personal, kid, before landing the fatal blow. It's a critical strike, because everyone knows having the hat and katana equipped simultaneously gives you 100% crit chance on finishes. Then you get to choose if it's impalement or a decapitation. If a random person is just going around looking for a fight, like say under the influence of something, or you can tell isn't all there mentally, get the hell away. They are most likely to either pull a knife or a gun when someone engages them. Yes, while some people are crazy and stupid, they go out looking for a fight, usually because they want to win, not lose. And an easy way to do that is bring a weapon against an unarmed opponent who was not at all expecting to get into a fight that day. The second they don't feel powerful or in control, the weapon will come out so they can feel that way again. Challenge them to video game duel instead. 1v1 quickscope duel on Rust. Well, I lose. Can we see who can grow crops faster in Stardew Valley? Never get in a knife fight. The loser of a knife fight dies in the street. The winner of a knife fight dies in the ambulance. I'd give you an award if I could. Considered yourself awarded. Thank you. Your appreciation is award enough for me. and your comment made me smile. These threads are always a riot and 99% full of comically bad advice. Grabs popcorn. Bro, just duck and weave around their punches while executing flawless kicks to the bridge of the nose. It's not that hard. I never saw the point of these threads, GBH. Op has clearly never been in a fight. Even if the world's greatest striking coach came into this thread and gave a breakdown on how to throw the perfect fight-ending punch, do you really think Op, in the heat of his very first physical encounter, his veins pumping with adrenaline, his fight/flight response in full swing, will remember exactly what aforementioned striking coach told him to DB, even if he did, having never actually implemented the technique in real life before being able to execute it properly? That's why these posts are dumb and somewhat dangerous. Except replace striking coach with average Joe Redditor. Don't get into a fight. I've followed your advice my entire life. Me too. Because I'm so skinny. Even if the guy misses his shot, I'll get knocked out by the air blown from it. Always carry sand in your pocket. Pockets and sure. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Reddit videos.